What is up, YouTube? Uncle40 here. We have more deck lists coming out this weekend. This will probably be wrapping up the chunk of information that I have for everything for Yu-Gi-Oh! Day, for the YCS, as we're kind of just relax the next day or so before my Black Friday experience really begins. And we have infinite sales, so always, if you guys know there's a TCG Player link on here, if you're shopping, please use that link on TCG Player. It helps support the channel, and it is a really awesome chance to just contribute to the channel. It's like a little tip, actually. Almost comes back and helps support. So, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Day Top 8 Dragonmaid deck. And before you're like, oh man, Dragonmaids, really? Well, we're taking any sort of information that we get on the Dragonmaids, and we're trying to make this the best deck. Now, I didn't actually consider Pot of Extrav being one of the cards that you probably are going to need in this deck. Much like Dinosaurs, just being a deck, it was like, it's okay on its own. And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, actually, Extrav pretty much does make this deck simply easier to play. And I mean, you don't have any other real search cards besides, Kitchen, and you can bypass and get around that. You don't have to maximize on those numbers. So I was out of New Zealand, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so we have triple copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring because we're going to need those hand traps in order to be able to play the deck. Triple copies of Ernest. She's the quick effect special summon one. She's also going to be your extender. She's going to give you the chance to play the game. And if you don't get the opportunity to establish the double monsters, you're gonna have a hard time. Then we have two copies of you can discard this, target a face-up card on the field, or face-up monster, and then that player cannot activate the effects of that target this turn. So basically, I wish this was a quick effect. You guys don't understand how bad I wish this was. We have one copy of the discard this card to banish one from your opponent's graveyard. I don't know why this also isn't a quick effect, but okay. Then we have two copies of Tinkek. I love that name. And this is the one you can discard it, target a Dragonmaid, and it gains 2,000 attacks. So this is going to be your honest. Toggles into your level 3. Alright, so we got two copies of Kitchen Dragonmaid. She's the one that normal special lets you add a Dragonmaid monster. Two copies of Laundry. She's the one that lets you mill the top 3. Two copies of Nurse. She's the one that lets you target a level 4 lower Dragonmaid monster in your graveyard and special summon it, so extender. And triple copies of Parlor. She's the one that lets you send one from your deck to the graveyard. So she drops the fusion, making your life a little bit easier. Spells here, we have two Called by the Grave, two Cosmic Cyclone, one copy of Changeover, triple copies of Hospitality. This lets you special summon one from your hand or graveyard, and then you get to mill with the same attribute but a different level from your deck. And then we have one copy of Welcome. All monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each Dragonmaid monster you control. If you control two or more Dragonmaid monsters, target one Dragonmaid in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So this does grant back some nice little recursion. We have triple copies of Extrav. Triple copies of Super Poly, because we're at this point in the format now where broken degeneracy just adds into the fun. We have two copies of Dragonmaid Downtime. This is the one that lets you return to your hand. Okay, so return it to the hand, and if you do, you can add one Dragonmaid card from your deck to your hand, or return it to your hand. So basically, you're targeting a Dragonmaid, bouncing it back to recur a spell or trap card, or to recur a monster. We have triple copies of Infinite Impermanence, wrapping up the main deck here. Down here in the extra deck, we have one Triple Burst Dragon, one copy of Saruja, one Phoenix, one Cerberus, one Heavenly Spheres, one Boral Sword, one Hope Harbinger, one Big Eye, one copy of Starving Venom, one Violet Chimera, one Dragon Stapelia, one copy of Mud Dragon, and triple copies of the House Dragonmaid. Side deck here, we have two copies of Artifact Lancia, triple Pankratops, two Gamma Seal, triple Nibiru, one Hatrunade, two Mind Control, and two copies of Twin Twister, wrapping up. What a wonderful time to be alive for those of you out there that are just like, oh, Dragonmaids, yes! You got a top, technically, it's not a regional top, but you got to take the things that you get. You can't be too greedy out there. Baby steps, quite honestly. Now, that being said, we also have Heroes coming out of this event as well, making top cut. And I'm still a little bit perplexed by this build. So this is standard hero OTK, but we're actually playing the one copy of the draw hand. This is special summoned by the effect of a hero monster. You can make each player draw one card. So I guess it's an extender for going second. My opponent will always roll the Ash Blossom, by the way. That's just how life works. And then during the next time I phase after this card was sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your graveyard but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Destiny Hero draw hand once per turn. I don't know how I feel about this card. I get we're trying to use it as an extender, but it doesn't feel very extenderful. Does that make sense? But interesting tech choice nonetheless. So, we have one copy of draw hand, one copy of Dynatag, because being able to ping for 1,000 damage is always good. Triple copies of Malicious, of course, the Heart and Soul of your deck. One Plasma, one copy of Honest Neos, two copies of Shadow Mist, one Solid Soldier. The argument back and forth on this is, do you really need it? Is it going to be the card that saves the day? I think one of this is absolutely fine. I have two copies of Stratos, triple copies of Faris, two copies of Increase, and two copies of Ion. Spells here we have one, Hero Lives, triple copies of Lure Darkness. This is becoming more of a staple in these decks at this point in time. Being able to essentially get more draw power, thin the deck, draw your second Malicious. Life is weird sometimes. Two copies of E-Call, one Foolish Burial, triple copies of Fusion Destiny, your best card in your deck. Literally, you will win games because of this until your opponent ashes it. And to the one person that's like, you can't ash this, it does send from deck to graveyard. It is implied. Then we have triple copies of Mesh Change, two copies of Mind Control, one Polymerization, one Rhoda, triple Super Poly, and two copies of Yield Twin Twister. Down here in the extra deck, we have one Wonder Driver, one Dread Decimator, two copies of Cross Crusader. I feel like these numbers have become so staple at this point that it's kind of ridiculous. One Landphonicus, one Trinity, one copy of Adoration, one Starving Venom, two Danklaw, one copy of Blast, one Anarchy, one Diplexer, one Dystopia, one copy of the Dangerous Guy. Side deck here we have triple Lancia, two copies of DD Crow, triple copies of Droll Knockbird, triple Hadoken, one Twin Twister, and triple copies of Red Reboot, wrapping up just a wonderful experience for Heroes. Continuing to see innovation in things, even though this was at a Yu-Gi-Oh! Day, it's still nice to see people being like, okay, this is what we're going to do for Heroes, this is how we're going to attempt to change the game, and I think it's good that we're making progress on these things. Now, last list I have for you guys, a stun deck I saw. This was coming out of, I believe, Mexico, or South America. I believe it was Mexico, though. Quote me on it in the comment section for this, but I was like, stun. We gotta talk about this. So, well, here we are. So, we have two copies of Banisher of the Radiance, two copies of Fossil Dino, triple copies of Inspector Border, and triple copies of Thunder King Ryo. Your monster ratio on this, the only real thing you can mess around with is just kicking out a Thunder King. I feel like everything else is pretty set in stone. Triple copies of Card Demise, two Moon Mirror Shield, triple Duality, and two copies of Extrav. Definitely interesting to see no desires for this as well. We have the one copy of Scapegoats, kind of granting you more of a defensive link play if you want. And by being able to have access to Scapegoat, you can punish your opponent for the more aggressive plays that they might try to take. Then we have two copies of Compulse, triple copies of Heavy Storm Duster, one Macro Cosmo, two copies of Mia Force, two copies of the Sword, triple copies of Judgment, triple copies of Strike, one Warning, and triple copies of TC Boo. Do note that there are no wings in the main deck. We're just going straight for swords here. I guess that this duelist felt that that was going to be the most optimal value. Well, I don't disagree. I do like one wing. And then we have one Security Dragon, one Mrs. Radiant, one Link Karibo, one Link Spider, one Karen, one copy of Phoenix, one Decode Talker, one Boral Sword, and one Borreload, one copy of Punish My Opponent, one copy of Punish My Opponent Harder Daddy, because we hit two in the same game, one Starving Venom, one Solomon Great Violet Chimera, one Direct Stapelli, and one copy of Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. Side deck here with two copies of Nibiru, two copies of Cosmic Cyclone, triple copies of Super Polymerization, triple copies of Evenly Matched, one Imperial Order, two copies of Waking the Durgan, and two copies of Wiretap. Wrapping up this chunk of deck profiles for everybody. So we're heading into the happy holidays here, guys. Tell me, what do you think about the metagame right now? I mean, we don't sleep, nor does the metagame. But these are the results as we getting ready to head into December here. The last YCS of the weekend is upon us. And well, wish you guys happy holidays. See you guys on the flip side. Deuce Arena. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out Vanquil40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.